Hi and welcome. Today I wanted to share a few ideas on something that I call leveling the belt line, which I think is one of the most critical or important pieces for your average golfer to be able to create a more efficient and um, repeatable swing that will allow the club or movement that will allow the club to return into the ball in a more favourable way. So I've got two very contrasting golfers and swings. So Tiger and Mel Reid, who plays on the Ladies European Tour. Now, as we work these back, what we'll see is certainly from a visual perspective on a camera, we'll see the belt lines down what I call quite level or parallel to the ground here throughout the swing. So basically, what I'll tend to see with a lot of average golfers is the belt line of this left side of the belt line looks like it drops quite low or points toward the ground. So as look with Tiger and with Mel, this kind of belt line visually here looks what I call level or parallel to the floor. Now, the reason this is important is that it allows a very simple return for the pelvis back to where it wants to be or should be on the way down. So there's not a lot of adjustments required on the way down. It has a knock-on effect with where the upper body is at the top of the golf swing and how the shoulders can move at the start of the downswing, which ultimately influences the club. So what we typically see when you see a golfer with a kind of belt line that points toward the ground more, or a low left side, is that they're going to swing too steep, too vertical. They'll have problems shifting pressure through the ball, will tend to lean back, maybe spin out with the hips. So it can cause a whole myriad of issues or compensations required on the way down. So with both Mel and Tiger here, we can see that this stays nice and what I call level. So then as they move back into transition into the downswing, the pelvis hasn't got a lot of work to do to maintain a very similar position on the way down. This helps the upper body and the shoulders, help the left shoulder go. It helps the left shoulder raise on the downswing. The spine, particularly with the driver, to stay a little bit more behind the golf ball. It allows the correct loading and lag in the swing, and then through the bottom of the swing or through impact here, then the pressure can shift toward the target. There's no kind of backing up or hanging back on the back leg or on the right side, and it's going to help also with power and speed and how the energy transfers through the system of the golf swing. So again, likewise with Mel here, as she leans over or shifts some pressure forward in the swing, the pelvis doesn't have much to do to kind of level out or even open out very slightly, and then through the bottom of the ball here again, it's quite a simplistic and efficient movement with the lower half and with the pelvis here. So very well said, but how do you do that? Obviously, setup's key. So both setups here with the wedge and with Tiger's driver, the pelvis is parallel to the ground or slightly tilted higher on the left side, particularly when it would be with the driver here. So setup's key. And then other key piece I suppose we'll look at, particularly with Tiger here, is he maintains some flex in the back knee here, which is often a very desirable piece to maintain some flex in that knee to help with the pelvis position or the belt line staying level. Mel again maintains a bit of flex in that back knee, so it doesn't completely straighten out. So that'd be quite a common trait of someone who struggles with this, is over straightening that back leg, and obviously that's going to lead to a much more efficient impact position. So if you tend to struggle with slices, fades, or you know that you slide in the swing with your pelvis, then the belt line leveling could be a key piece for you. And the first place to start is setup, and then from there you could work on some of the movement in a mirror, looking at the belt line and working how to maintain that or keep the level throughout the backswing, and this will put you in a good position to improve the downswing.